WBIFTBPM.
You got to Kennedy King, so you remember Corey Brown?
I definitely remember Corey Brown from Morgan Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Murder, man. So I got it in with y'all one day before a game, and then y'all literally went out and destroyed some people by about 50 at Kennedy King, and I'll never forget, somebody shot a jumper. It came off long, and Corey will tell this story to this day. He says he went up, and I was in the stands. He went up for the rebound, and before he could jump, he said he felt a foot on his head. And it was you, and you caught it. Classic P-Mac catching it over everybody, putting it back in. He says before he jumped, he felt a foot on his head. And Corey was 6'4", easy. On his head.
Yeah, Corey was 6'4", man. I used to I don't know, I had a knack, man. I was always uber athletic. Like I was taught earlier, if somebody shoot, you got to come from the opposite side. I had a guy in my neighborhood named Wayne Irvin, legendary dude to us in our neighborhood. Played at Chicago State, played at Wyoming. Okay. Played against Patrick Ewing. He passed away a couple years ago, but went to CVS. He was a decorated player. A lot of people knew him. And he taught me early, like, you attack offensive rebounds from the opposite side. So if somebody shoot from the left wing, you crash from the right. If somebody shoot from the top of the key, you can crash because it can go either way and you can get it. I was so big and athletic. I used to get a lot of tip dunks. Like, for some reason, people never boxed me out. And once I got a running start, if it came off anywhere over the rim and bounced up, you was dead.
This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media Network.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
My name is Cassandra J. Matz, current Village of Olympia Fields trustee and your candidate for Village President of Olympia Fields. I've been a resident of Olympia Fields for 28 years. I believe in building strategic partnerships, establishing governance boundaries, and have and will continue to dedicate my life's work as a respected and credible voice when it comes to decision making. Olympia Fields has always been a community of familiarity and comfort, and I want to make sure the village stays that way. On Tuesday, April 6th, vote Cassandra J. Matz for your Olympia Fields Village President. Paid for by Citizens for Cassandra J. Matz.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's In It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. folks. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning? Oh, I did that wrong. I got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Hey, Maze. ILL.
And once again, just to be Todd, you wore a football sweatshirt instead of a Fighting Illini basketball hoodie, but I'm in a green sweater. So what can I say?
New one, man.
You know what? We
at least not till the summer. I'll buy.
We need to get Andrea Darlis to send us some stuff. We need some Illini gear. Matter of fact, on the break, I'm gonna text her and tell her.
Oh, I love her.
You know she. You know what? We
Like I really love her.
She is really a nice person too. She's excited. She is like the Illini cheerleader. Like if there was a job to run the booster club. Like not the booster club, the pep squad. The pep squad. She is the consummate pep squad. And I'm telling you, we're going to work with her and LaShawn Ford and Chancellor Jones to get a black male return to school program at the University of Illinois. Yes, we're going to bite what Morehouse did, but we're going to get it done.
I love it.
All right, so look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Ruthie Moore is still not in here, and I think I forgot to call Miko.
Uh-oh.
I think I told her Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. And don't forget she's got a show coming up. So, dag nabbit, I got all carried away with the Illini game and a crazy client this weekend, Todd, and it just went crazy. So, maybe we'll see Miko on Wednesday. I guess that'll be it. Because Cousin Juan, who shorted us a day last week, is babysitting nephews, and I seen them on Instagram. I seen them on the babies.
Oh,
trying to put people to sleep. You know, man, don't be trying to get them babies no little nip neither, so they can go to sleep. You know, they used to be like, that baby crying. Here, you got to give him a little nip.
Put someone that's good.
Next thing you know, baby is. I think I'm gonna need a little sip. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Sonia Escobar, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling tired but awake.
Okay, tired but awake.
As soon as I walk through that door, I'm like,
you know I slept right up until the alarm today.
I had like an hour and a
wow.
half.
I wonder what that's like.
I mean, I slept like literally right. I mean, the alarm actually woke me up. Usually that's not the case.
Right.
Usually I wake up and I'm trying to beat the alarm before it goes off. But it woke me up this morning, which means I was sleeping hard and sweaty.
Like I knew I had to get up soon, so I was like, ugh. So, you know when you keep checking?
Right. I do that.
You know what? And I checked this morning. I have still not grown an additional limb, so we're going to talk about that at some point. This is the Maze Jackson Show, so I'm your host, Maze. No Ruthie, still out in the jungle wild, in the jungle deep.
In the jungle deep.
Doing her thing, saving the peoples. I'll be trying to sneak up out of here. You know she going to come back a secret squirrel. Top secret spy. No, I'm just joking. All right, no, I'm not really. No, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Maze and Sonia, no Ruthie and Todd. Let's get this soul plane up to 60,000 feet. We are up and away. We're moving away pretty fast because we got a little hiccup this morning with the internets, but it looks like we're up and ready, rocking and rolling. So we're gonna catch up real quick. Want to take a moment of silence for Kenneth. Hold on, I blew it. Oh, Kenneth Kelly, space engineer, dies. Black space engineer. Did you know that the person responsible for us being able to communicate with Mars and that made our space missions possible was because of the work of a black space engineer, Kenneth Kelly, who died at 92 this weekend. And then he also became a housing advocate. Imagine being the person that sends them astronauts to the moon, and he had dozens of patents for the antennas that he created that allowed us to communicate long distance to the moon and to find extraterrestrials and all that good stuff. And imagine he became a housing advocate because as he was sending people to the moon, he couldn't live in the neighborhoods with his colleagues. And so he wound up having his colleague buy his lots. A white colleague had to buy his lots so that he, who was a hero, like that made sure that y'all got y'all John Glenn back, couldn't even live in y'all neighborhoods. So I just wanted to make sure we remember him. Died at 92. Because, we always think about the sisters at NASA, right? I think there's probably a lot of black people buried in a lot of places that had a lot of work that they did. That went unrecognized or stolen.
All over, not just NASA, all over this nation.
But just think about...
I find something new every week on, what's this thing, Facebook.
Just think about, though, the fact that it's like we don't see ourselves in the history.
Right.
So that's part of like...
And they don't either.
The undervaluing of, which is why they could put the dog on you.
Right.
If they would have thought that if they put that dog on the person who was going to make sure that they auntie got back from space. Right? Think about if that woman, Anjanette Young, was also the mathematician that got your child back, got you back from space. It's just they don't see us as that capable. It's funny.
There's no value in you.
Did you see, I missed this one. I didn't miss it. Chicago had a mass shooting this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
15 people shot, 2 dead currently at a garage party on 6700 South Chicago.
Janine asked me, where's Park Manor?
6700 South Chicago.
Well, that was before I actually knew where they were.
I feel like I've always heard the words Park Manor, but I've never... Like, you can't really clearly define it until they put a place like that.
I think that's where Mayor Sawyer lived, in Park Manor.
Okay. East side, right? It's like east.
It's east of the, I thought it was Indiana.
South Chicago is South Chicago, though. 6700 South Chicago, so that's on the diagonal.
Oh, maybe it's a different shooting.
That's the one in Avalon Park. And the one that happened in Avalon Park, it was a domestic dispute between a man and... I didn't even
know that one.
The one you're talking about on Indiana, it was in Avalon Park, and that was a domestic dispute. Rest in peace, Gino.
I thought it was 71st in Indiana, but it doesn't matter.
Regardless, that shooting you're talking about was the one that was... that actually, the guy who was killed in that one, actually, we grew up with. He was kind of like a Bolingbrook kind of OG kind of dude.
Oh.
And he was killed in a domestic dispute. I'm sorry, it was shocking to hear that. We were supposed to go. Matter of fact, he was going to have a barbecue on Sunday.
Oh, you mean like a Bolingbrook thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, I wasn't going, but it's just crazy to think about people. I saw the chatter about it. And then to know that he was... Man, Charlie, you just never know. All right. Then did you see a police officer? So we're going to talk about...
I'm still trying to visualize this garage party.
The garage party is also next door. You know what? I'm going to leave this one alone because after I read the story, I realized I've been to that place. Oh. And I realized that I know this is part of the I'm going to leave this one alone. I'm going to pass on that. All right, y'all. I'm going to just say prayers to everybody in that. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. Did you see the police officer shot in the 6th district at the police lot?
No.
Coming out of the police station, he got shot.
Do they know who shot him?
No, but they're going to find him. you can't shoot the police at the police station.
Yeah.
You stole my thunder there with the Illinois the Big Ten champs. However, that was a nail biter, and it was an awesome time with my son.
I haven't seen the game yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, man, it was an awesome. I mean, it was an awesome. I don't like games like.
Come down to the wire?
Yeah, I like, it's like I don't need the stress. I mean, when you win it, it's great, but the stress of, it's just, I'd rather see. When they was up 17, I was just like, oh, this is over.
Wow.
And then they went up 11, and then I was like, this is over. And when they went to overtime, I was like, this is over. And when they went, man, it was but shout out to.
I've seen them play Ohio State. It's kind of interesting. They can't seem to just run away from.
Ohio State is always been that pesky team that you just underestimate. Like, I'm not gonna jinx us, but like this is the Ohio State team that would sneak up and be like the national champion, right? Because you'll be like, they were the worst of the top teams, and Ohio State, something about Ohio State is just sneaky. Now, I'm not saying that any way, shape, or form. This is Illinois' year. Shout out to Io, even though he was, I'm going to tell you, that Carbello, the little Puerto Rican, whatever he is.
No, you're right, Puerto Rico.
Hey, man, that's that New York. He was pulling it yesterday. I watching the Illini yesterday, and even watching him this season has been fun. I'm kind of sad. And Kofi, good guy, man. He is like Shaq revisited.
He's huge.
Like, and it's like he's scared. I'm not going to even go there. But boy, oh boy. All I know is I think he got to keep that top lip chapsticked up. They got to keep that on the sideline. He cannot let that get dry. Because when it gets dry, it just does not work out well. All right. Grammys on TV last night.
First Grammys I've probably seen in I don't know how long.
And boy, you missed.
I totally forgot.
Because it totally was a snoozer.
Beyonce looked great, though.
Beyonce looked horrible. Shout out to Maya Seals. Let me just say
It's
this.
the Grammys.
I love
It'd be like
Jay-Z and Beyonce. I love Jay-Z and Beyonce. Let me not say I love Jay-Z and Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Respect to Jay.
Yeah, you love Jay.
No, I don't love Jay.
No,
but let me just tell you. Shout out to Maya Seals, who captured it all yesterday. It said, y'all's favorite couple looks a hot mess tonight. I do not know what, and who am I to judge either one of them? Jay, I feel like they own some, like, we got so much money now. Like, so much. First of all, how crazy was it that they showed up just to get their award and then left? Like, they was there, and I was telling Carrie, I was like, babe, Beyonce is gonna break the record tonight. And she was like, oh, it's so exciting. It's a tie. I was like, the only reason that they're there tonight is because she's gonna break the record. If there wasn't, they wasn't gonna be there. Todd, they showed up. They was there for like one segment. Like
It's
there was a
pandemic.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a pandemic. No. Look, they was there. They was at the table. She got her award. Megan Thee Stallion got her award. Then she got the other one, broke the record. When you cut back, it was an empty table.
They were like, let's go.
It was like, we up. Look, ain't nobody got time for me sitting up here. Like, we're going to go ahead and make you the biggest women in Grammy history. And then we're going to go jump on our jet and take a jet to the crib.
Not women, just artists.
Okay. Well, she was the most artist?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Beto. But her hair was a hot mess. She was dressed a hot mess.
Janine said, what's going on with Jay-Z's hair? Hans' hair looks better than that.
And Jay-Z, man, I mean, I know he got his Basquiat on, but I'm ready for this phase to be over too. I am. I just, the bummy look is just not the thing. All right. And I don't want the hive to come for me, but I am going to say that Beyonce is starting to look very much like her mom. And she clearly looks like somebody's mom now. Like she was, and she acted like it on the stage, but it's like
I didn't think she looked like somebody's.
Oh, I did.
I mean,
she looked like a country mama who
Like
she didn't look like she was 20.
She looked like a country mom. She looked like, hey, Miss Parker. It's like she is now okay, let's just be clear.
I didn't see anything different between her and the Stallion.
Are you crazy? First of all, the Stallion has
Megan was turned.
Okay, Stallion. Megan, first of all, I don't like the whole Stallion. The male horse thing. the male horse, Megan the horse. Megan the male horse. That, I mean, if you just place. But I feel like Megan Thee Stallion she's big.
She's young.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna let it be. I'm not even ride on Megan. I did not. I'm not. And the WAP, and I just need to say that Cardi B put an extra 2 cheeks in for the Grammys yesterday.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I was like, did you put an extra booty in there? It's like, because Cardi B is already pretty shapely, but no. She had an extra booty implants put in. Somebody said yesterday for the Grammys, and it might have been Maya again. But I'm just going to tell you.
Would you take those out later? Or
she probably,
you can?
Yeah, you can take it. You know that. Remember you weren't here when we had Johanna.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't.
And Johanna, she had hers taken out and put in and replaced.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay. You know what? I saw the Chicago River got dyed. This weekend, the Irishman would not be stopped. I'm not gonna hold it against nobody that it was the Chicago River, and on the Chicago River turning. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let that be.
My older brother sent me a picture of him right in front of me.
People was like, yeah, we're here. I'm like,
but
that you want to impress me? That mug red, black, and green.
He just moved back from Oklahoma. I was like, okay.
4 million vaccines delivered in Illinois. We are, what is it, 12 million in the state or 20?
What?
How many people is in the state?
Like 12.
12? Okay, so 1/3 of the people are vaccinated. That's a good thing.
No, the vaccinations are here. Is that what you said?
No, 4 million people have been vaccinated.
Oh.
Yeah, 4 million people have been vaccinated thus far in Illinois.
Now how come I can't get an appointment till the 26th?
Right,
First, because you could just go walk up to the United Center and get one. You tripping? I mean, I'm just saying,
They don't turn people away?
I'm just telling you, every white person in the world is getting a shot. There's nobody white that's not getting a shot. It's not. It's like I drive by United Center and it's like white people like, hey, I'm white. Because I'm white. Hey, I gotta get in line here. Do you have an appointment? No, didn't you know I'm white? I'm white. Thank you very much. Speaking of white, Cuomo watch.
Speaking of white.
They done got it all the way up to Chuck Schumer done already said step down. They couldn't get Joe Biden because Uncle Joe like, man, they gonna start them tapes up again. Nah, I can't be there. They gonna start playing Uncle Joe's tapes again. I think Uncle Joe.
The president is smart enough to stay out of local politics. Thank the Lord.
I think the president is he gonna look. I think right now though, the way people feel about the fact that Joe Biden is there and Trump, I think Joe Biden could go around and squeeze a whole bunch of people and nobody would even care. Like they'd be like, you know what? Let the old man have it, get his jollies because we ain't got Trump no more. That's what I think will happen. All right, y'all. It is the May. Oh, did anybody? Okay, are you all familiar? Ruthie talked about this guy. Is anybody familiar with Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Oh, they've been running this documentary on HBO, I think.
Showtime.
That's what I said.
Did you watch it?
I watched part of it.
Okay,
it's in parts.
It's 3 parts
with the rainbow hair.
And let me just say this. But I'm gonna expand this conversation somewhere else. I watched it this weekend. Carrie was captured. I got her started and then fell asleep. And then she stayed up and watched it and was like, you gotta watch it. And somebody needs to kick. Well, I can't say what she said. It needs to happen. But Tekashi 6ix9ine played the most gangsters in New York like some suckers. But forget him telling on everybody. The fact that they gave him the clout to be able to, they gave him the credibility that he had. Y'all gotta watch that because
I gotta watch the first one.
We love us some M&Ms.
But he's a great marketer though.
He's a great marketer, but he's also a great manipulator. And I was just thinking about all these gangsters in the video that was acting like they was gangsters and this and that, and he could be a rat, he could be all of that, but he played the most gangster of the gangsters in the whole entire world like some simps and turned them all against each other. And it was just crazy to watch what Danny Hernandez, a Dominican, we gonna call him white because he wanted to be a punk rocker, took and played the most OG gangster organization in New York, like some simps. And we're going to have to talk about that. It's not going to be on this show, but we got to talk about that because that Tekashi 6ix9ine, forget all the snitching stuff. How about the fact that y'all let him get there? That y'all was so caught up in trying to be a star and famous with this white boy that y'all let him take y'all whole crew down.
Celebrity or something.
They done let this dude stuff. People have died for what he was doing, and they gave it to him, and then he took it, made millions off of it, then turned on them and told on them, and they tough guys because they trying to point fingers at. No, you let a punk come in there and get y'all.
No, but
player.
He's affiliated with the.
No, did you watch it? Right, he's affiliated with the feds.
Nobody wants smoke with the feds.
No, I'm not talking. But first of all, before he was with the feds, y'all saw a white boy and said we could get rich with him, so y'all blessed him in. Anyway,
wait a minute, how many Danny Hernandez from the Dominican are white? Now, come on.
Well, he's whatever. He looked like a white boy for as compared to the 93. 93, what was it called? A 93 blood, whatever they are.
I don't know nothing.
Well, I'm going to just tell you.
No, sir.
He was a white boy compared to them. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about this on Facebook. And I may even go live on this one because I just can't even believe. 15 years old, this dude played the most gangster people in the world. Like some saps. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
WIFTBPN. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd Stroger. Sonia Escobar in the building. No Ruthie Moore. Hey, y'all, I was messing around yesterday on social media. But since I'm up, y'all done woke me up. And, I was messing around last night. So, one of the things I do on the Grammys, on these award shows, and I'm getting old because now I don't really know a lot of the artists. But I used to comment on them all and talk smack like everybody. And I'd be sarcastic and people be like, you tripping. But one of the things I said yesterday I was going to do, and one of the things I noticed was gave a shout out to. First of all, I was saying it facetiously, but not facetiously, because I was talking about Trevor Noah and the fact that like right now black people are in fashion, but not like black American people.
Oh, I saw that.
Right? Like, and I was just saying, like, seriously, right now there is a resurgence of there is a surge in black roles, and now that Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, has passed, the opportunity for black male actors is probably from America to do black roles is truly limited. I was just thinking, like, think about this. Right now, you got 2 movies going on about Aretha Franklin and the African Cynthia whatever who played Harriet. Erivo is the African playing Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
But there's a J Hud movie.
Right.
J Hud's supposed to do it. Then you think about like the Martin Luther King and Glory.
Right.
Nope, no black dude. Then you think about Fred Hampton. Like, they couldn't find a black dude from the west side of Chicago. There's no black people in America who could play a black dude from the west side of Chicago.
Right.
Then what was the other one that just came out that there's another one I just was hitting up. But anyway, Franklin. So I love Snowfall. Right? And Franklin Saint on Snowfall is the lead character. Is supposed to be playing the version of Rick Ross. Like the pre-Rick Ross before he was Rick Ross. Not the rapper, but the guy Freeway Rick. That role is played by an African. And I was talking about it, not really being tripping. But then I just happened to be looking up in my social media. And I shouldn't look at my social media. But I saw that someone that clearly has name of African descent jumps in and says, well, who cares? Who gives? Well, he actually used a bunch of flaming F words and stuff because I think sometimes people get offended. Like, do we recognize that there's a diaspora? Yes. And do we also recognize that even within the realm of the diaspora, white Americans in America do not want to raise black Americans to the same level? Like, they always want to make somebody else different, better, some kind of way. Am I correct? Like, so, again, you trying to tell me that a black man from America can't play Martin Luther King? I'm just saying that Harriet Tubman can't go to, and so I'm not tripping and I'm not mad, but I do think that there is something to the fact that white America doesn't necessarily want to elevate black Americans. They want to find a distinction, and they will find a way to work around us regardless.
I agree. Even if it's a subconscious thing, I think you're absolutely right. If you're not Morgan Freeman or Denzel Washington or Samuel Jackson.
And even Samuel Jackson pointed out that there's plenty of good American actors. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't trying to be tripping, but when I saw Kanu, whatever his name is, go off and start snapping, it's like, dog, let's deal with the realities of the fact. Like, let's be clear that no shade to our diasporan brethren and sistren, but they make a marked difference too. Mm-hmm. They be like, do not be like the black people in America. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Yvonne Orgy special? Okay, come on now, stop it. I be getting sensitive. My problem is when I wake up and I see somebody and it's like they want to make it seem like I'm trying to be crazy or I'm trying to inflame something. No, there's real. If we was standing side to side, I'm with my African brothers and sisters against white supremacy. But if the white people started dividing it up, they would try and put something in front, and I can't say that somebody wouldn't be like, yeah, them, stop it. And the righteous indignation of the reality just irritates me. Okay, let me move on.
Hey,
all right, so
my man Burt Bacharach was nominated. Go Boomers!
All right.
I don't know what that means.
He's a boomer. Burt Bacharach was like
Bareback. Todd, you make me nervous when you start talking about these bareback.
Burt Bacharach.
Burt Bacharach. He made the suit store? I used to love Bacharach.
Even Sonia laughed.
No, I love Bacharach. Remember we had the guy from Bacharach? Oh, no.
He was like the songwriter in the 60s.
There was only one songwriter in the 60s. I think Barry Gordy would beg to.
Like he was like the top.
Okay. I'm just trying to be difficult.
Yeah. But you're not doing a good job.
All right, let me move on because I want to go back to the Grammys. Yesterday, I be getting, Muggs be trying to snap. So yesterday.
That was the Grammys. That's the only reason why I mentioned it because he was.
They did a whole segment on him too, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
Like when they played, didn't they play a bunch of like a song he did? What was the song he did? Okay. I think that was probably the song that Carrie was singing that I was just like, what white song is this? And that's I know that.
That's probably it then.
Yeah. The other thing was, so last night on the Grammys, I learned about Mickey Guyton. Did you know who Mickey Guyton was?
I missed that part then.
Sonia, you're a musical lover. Do you know Mickey Guyton? Did you know who she was before the Grammys last night? Okay, so Mickey Guyton, in case you don't know, and I would say that many black people, if y'all know it, if y'all knew who Mickey Guyton is, raise your hand, say yes in the comments you knew who she was. I honestly did not. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I am really no longer a music connoisseur.
Right.
I listen to Jay. If it's a new Jay album or if I hear something, I'll go on Tidal or whatever, right? And I'll play it and I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. But realistically, honestly, I listen to Wiftable Media most of the time. And then if I'm not listening to Wiftable Media, I'm listening to some book or news to pump something in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not the biggest musician knower person. Definitely not in the realm of country. Well, Mickey Guyton, yesterday, as I was first I had heard some stories about this black woman, the first time in history that a black woman was going to be hosting the CMAs or something to that effect. And I was like, boy, now Black Lives Matter has permeated the world because the country musicians feel guilty enough that they going to put,
holy moly,
right, a black woman as the host, and they was marketing it. But still didn't know who she was. I saw it like out of the corner of my eye, and then the Grammys comes on, and I hear, and I'm not really paying attention, and then I hear the words, not before she says black like me, I hear the words like I moved to like a suburb and I realized that y'all was treating me different, blah, 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 blah. And as I heard the words, I said, that sounds like me growing up in Bolingbrook, right? And so I put my head up and I look up and I see this black woman singing this song and I'm like, whoa. And then it rolls into Black Like Me. And she starts singing this Black Like Me. And I'm like, she's a country singer? You know they not playing that song on no country song, no country music.
No.
Right? Like, because it was a song about her being discriminated against. But it moved me because, not because I am a country music connoisseur, but because here's this black woman trying to make headway in this industry that is clearly for white people. Right? Now, don't get it twisted. Remember, and it was funny because I kind of got, somebody tried to whack me for saying, well, it was kind of like a subliminal whack. Like, if you don't get because as soon as I saw it, I shared it on Facebook about this Mickey Guyton, and then I went and bought her whole entire album, right? Like, I didn't buy the single. I went on iTunes, and I bought the album, and I was like, yo, if y'all, I'm rolling with this country chick. I don't know her, but I bought the album because I wanted to be supportive. And then it turned out to be this whole, like, I got into this Facebook debate because I didn't know who she was. But, like, how do you know about a black country singer if you don't listen to country music and you don't read People magazine?
Well, that's true.
Right? Like, how was I supposed to know? Like, I haven't seen her in any of these places.
She's new.
Huh?
Her album was released.
Well, they implied that she's been around for like 10 years or 6 years or something like that.
You know that's a white boys club. Look at K. Michelle. She's supposed to release her country album this year.
Who?
K. Michelle.
So black people are moving the country. So here,
they wouldn't let her in. Just like Lil Nas X. They wouldn't let black people, anybody else other than a white male. Even the white women are like, oh, I can't really.
Okay. So.
And Darius Rucker.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Here's the people I knew. So let me just back up though. Remember, I was the first black person at Dollywood. I just gotta break that down. So don't play me, because I've been knowing country before. I could probably sing every Ronnie Millsap song, every George Strait song.
Charlie Pride was there.
Charlie Pride. No, Charlie Pride wasn't there.
He wasn't?
Because it was still log cat. We were there when they were in the not pre-construction, but the first wave. Charlie Pride though. So I knew Charlie Pride.
Thinking? No.
Huh? Well, Charlie Pride, that's what I said when I saw the Klan marching in the parade. Charlie Pride. But then it got me to thinking, like, what are the white things that black people do? Because I think somebody felt special that they knew a country artist. And, it was kind of like, well, I wish black people would expand themselves outside of the things that they're supposed to do normal. But, there go my thing. It's like, there's so many things that black people are into that are not quote unquote black. Just because you ain't in the country music don't mean that you don't you know what I'm saying? Like, so I want to know.
I do know what you're saying.
Today, what are the white things that black people do? What are the white things that black people do? I said prescription drugs. But like, what things do we do?
There's some truth to that, because I remember that at the East Bank.
Well, no, I mean,
one of the white guys was selling pills, and the white guys were like, "Can you believe that?"
Right. Well, but that's the whole thing. Like, I mean, I was thinking about, like, quite honestly, we often take white stuff and flip it, or we originated it, they jacked it, and then we bring it back and then outshine them in it. But what are white things that black people do? So I listen to 80s and 90s rock. Right? Like, but I think that when we talk about, like when we do these music things on the station,
mm-hmm.
we see that there's a lot of black people that listen to rock,
mm-hmm.
or listen to 80s and 90s rock back in the day. I remember growing up in Bolingbrook, and if you listen to rock, you was a white boy. But then you turn around and you listen to all the people in the city who was like, that's all we really had to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So what are the things, what are the black things, what are the white things that black people do?
Golf. As much as Tiger drew attention, if I go to Jackson Park, and I do,
mm-hmm.
and the 3 months we get, if I'm just walking on, more than likely 80% of the time, I'll be paired with a white person.
Okay. What about, that's a good one. Okay, what about biking? Bicycling. Like, I feel like black people.
Cousin Juan for that one.
But I'm saying, like, I used to remember, like, black people don't ride bikes. Like, we used to ride bikes to pop wheelies and banana seats and all that.
Yeah.
And stretch. Remember when you had the bike with the stretches?
But not for exercising?
But we did not ride the bike on the lake. Now it's like black bikers. Like black biking clubs. Yes? No? I don't remember. I remember, like.
That's a tough one for me. I don't know.
I mean, think about it. You get up on Saturday morning, and now you look at Instagram and Facebook, and you find all of these black people that are riding bikes with helmets at that. Like, black people riding bikes with helmets.
That's when
I never in a million years would imagine riding a bike with a helmet. What else do black people do that white people? What are Timberlands? Y'all know Timberlands used to be white people's clothes. Polo, that used to be white people's clothes too. What else? I'm saying, what are things that black people do that white people like? You know what I'm gonna say? Go out to eat to expensive restaurants.
They wouldn't let us in.
Now it's like, here go the thing. It's like now the thing for black folks. Even, okay, let's put it this way. There used to be a time when we went to Red Lobster.
Oh, Red Lobster.
Now they don't.
They still go to where people can still go to Red Lobster.
Red Lobster might still be one of the best seafood values ever. And the quality is still good. But no, I'm saying, like, have you, like, now, you go to, like, you say you going to Chicago Cut, you might roll up and see the brothers in them there. Right? It used to be a time if you went to certain restaurants, you wasn't going, like, even shopping in the high-end boutique and fashion locations. I think that there used to be a time when we bought certain brands, but like now when you go on Michigan Avenue or like Oak Street, it be kids. like young people, I'd be like, first of all, where y'all get this money?
The Facebook comments, Elvin, he says cosplay. Kenneth Steele says hiking.
Cosplay.
What's cosplay?
That's when you dress up in a costume and you act like you're somebody else.
Black people do that?
When you dress up
Yeah,
like
they
as
do.
an anime
No, they
character.
don't. Is that like that when they go to the? Oh,
Yeah, I was in Washington and the Comic-Con was huge.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, when I
Hans
was-
used to dress up like the Doctor Who.
My daughter dresses.
Times, where my money, dog? Nobody want to hear about your costume till you. You can't tell me about nothing Hans did. I don't want to hear about him ordering the pizza. I don't want to hear nothing until you give me my money.
You got 5 on it.
What other white things do black people do? What are the white things?
Okay, Facebook, I see running clubs.
That too. Yeah, black people are running. Black people run.
We didn't do that before.
But as a child, my aunt dated a marathon runner, and I used
He
to
wasn't
see
black.
people all the time.
Now, black people running marathons and
the
these
industry
fitness things and getting these.
Serious
Mm-hmm.
running clubs. You there?
Really?
At 5.
So I see now a lot more black
running
people.
Clubs, that's kind of because in the 70s, I think Muhammad Ali had a running club. That kind of.
That's because they was like Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Travel out of the country. Black people used to not go out the country. Now you go to the resort, you be like, dang. What?
I tell you, part of that is now we can actually go.
Okay. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Chicago's mass shooting. 15 people shot, 2 dead. Man, it's a real interesting kind of scenario. I want to talk about it. How does that happen? What do you do? Who you with? Are there still rules to the game? I saw my dear friend and cousin Carla had a list of rules that they had old school about, like going to the party, like you go with who you came with. Somebody go to the bathroom. Like, how do you know when you at the wrong spot? How you know when it's time to go? Right? You at the club, you at the and you at the speakeasy.
When you hear, all right, I got you.
How do you know when it's time to? No, save it. Save it. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
This is Tori Muhammad, and we want you to tune in to the Tori Muhammad Show that airs here on What's in It for the Black People Media every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We talk and celebrate black-owned businesses, black entrepreneurs, and we talk to some of the best people in the food industry here in Chicago, black chefs, black restaurateurs. So make sure that you tune in to us every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard.
We have a very, very special guest, man, joining us on today's show. Walter Beach, he's my godfather and one of 2 of the dopest black men I've met in my entire life.
This is how I always introduce myself. I'm black in attitude, I'm black in behavior, I'm black in belief and thought, and I'm African in spirit. I accept and acknowledge the fact of my African self being intuitively and have developed the cognitive strength to function as a black man in America. As an African black man, my hypocrisy manifests as silent rage. I must decide what my relationship to racism will be. Only I can say when and where I enter my manhood, with quiet, undisputed dignity, without violence or special patronage, asking no quarters and giving no quarters. When and where I enter, I take with me my people. That's what the sovereignty that Tucson was talking about means to me. I'm a sovereign human being. And like he was talking about in that point that we made in Amistad when we was talking about, all of our species demands to be free. They may not have the power to prevent it, but they just demands it. And that's what they do. That's what the struggle is about.
WIFTBPS. Yeah, been trying to reach you all day. What's the deal? Keep it real, baby. You can't even pick up and call me. Matter of fact, at this point, I just feel that you're trying to play me for a fool. Baby, that ain't cool. Now that ain't cool. See, you've been running around like you've been single, looking for a good time so you can mingle. Got me out here looking stupid. You out here with your bow like a cupid, but I guess it's cool. Guess I was just another hit on your hit list, another good time that you wouldn't miss. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking no ways you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. It's petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. That's what we got. Petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. Yeah. Oh, now you're trying to reach me. Just the other day, cause I'm trying to treat. Now it's can we talk, oh baby, can you see me? Cause you can't take what I'm doing. Is that cool? Now that ain't cool. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking no rules you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. It's petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. Ooh. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Yeah. Why'd you have to hurt me, boy? I thought you were so deserving, boy. You took my love for granted, boy. I'll just take this as a lesson, boy. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Petty love, petty love, petty love. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking no rules you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Yeah. Petty love, petty love, petty love. What we got.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
for the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now, other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve on.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, and Sonia Escobar in the building. Y'all, this social media is cracking me up. Y'all are making me laugh. They trying to start fights with me on my page while y'all got the show going on. What is going on with y'all? Stop it. All right, Todd. I gotta go back to the Grammy. All right. Since they both was the stars last week, Meghan Markle or Megan Thee Stallion? Who you want your daughter to be like? More like. You only can pick one of the two.
I don't know, Markle, but I'm probably
Meghan Markle, the princess.
She's probably
Prince Harry's wife.
Oh, her.
Meghan Markle or Megan Thee Stallion? Where you going?
I'm going with Markle.
That's not empowering of your black child.
I just don't see it. I mean,
you don't want your child to be a savage.
I mean, you can do your own thing and get paid.
You can't. She have a. I don't even want to go there because it's your child. I was gonna say, you know. All right, we go. So I'm gonna make. Everybody make a poll for this show today. Meghan Markle, Megan Thee Stallion. You only got one choice. Who's your? Whoa, Candace, you said Stallion? Wait, y'all, hold on.
You know, some people are going to be like, hey, she's taking control of her life and doing her thing.
Okay. I'm going to have to put that out there in the universe. We're going to have to put that in the universe. Megan Thee Stallion, okay. Megan Thee Stallion or Meghan Markle? Yesterday, this should frame it all.
Megan is only 26 years old.
Megan Thee Stallion. 26 years. Megan is 26 years old. Meghan Markle is 39. Robbing the cradle of a 36-year-old pregnant. Okay, so here we go. Yesterday, let me back up because I done got a little silly and I want to back up because I think this is real. Yesterday, 15 people were shot at a party, at a pop-up party on what I would consider the southeast side. What did they call the neighborhood again? That wasn't Avalon Park. That was Park Manor.
Park Manor.
So 15 people shot. That, my friends, is a mass shooting.
Wow.
Like, and so I want to be careful in how I discuss this because I think that, you know, we tend to, as black folks, get hypersensitive when these type of things happen. But the fact of the matter is 15 of our people were shot most likely by some people in our crew who have limited to no regard for the life of others.
Right.
There was a 39-year-old man killed and a 30-year-old woman. The 30-year-old woman had left Chicago and was home to go and live in Texas and was home because she was trying to get away from the gun violence. But she was home for the weekend and was murdered at this exchange. Now, they don't know if it was one person, if there was an exchange of gunfire. But what we know is 15 people were shot, 2 people were dead. First thing is, I gotta ask, where does the responsibility for this lie? Right? I'm going to tell you that as people have been cooped up in trying to and we are moving towards a reopening. People are trying to get out, go out, do things, etc. I'm going to tell you that even this lockdown has created a whole new new speakeasy industry. I'm not suggesting that this was a speakeasy. What I am going to suggest is that people are popping up everywhere right now trying to find places to gather. And so who's responsible for this? Do you need a pat down? Is it like, because I feel like if you see a crowd of people, there's nothing in me that says that I'm going to take, even if I got beat down, punked, drink tossed on me, whatever, I'm not going to shoot in the crowd for just the simple fear of hitting someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Not one, but imagine 15 people just dropping. And you have regardless or no regard for the life in the room. Now, if you want to wait for them around the corner, wait for them at the car and handle your business, do that. But how do we get here? How do we get here, and what is our role in holding that person responsible? 15 people shot. Can you imagine being somewhere and being shot? 15 people getting shot. People are saying, I
cannot imagine getting shot at all.
Okay. 15 people in a room, in a venue, and they get shot. Who's responsible? Parents? The person? Is that black on black crime? And let me ask a question, and I don't want to go into that space, but like, how do we talk about it? Like, how do we, I'm not going to talk about it from the perspective of black on black crime, because I feel like when you use those terms, then it is a trigger. But I got to ask, how do we get to a place where we see value, regardless of our anger, in the lives of all of the rest of our people? Like, there's something in me that probably won't allow me to, there's something in me that probably would prevent me from taking actions that I would have probably considered years ago. But I gotta ask you, how do we stop this? Like 15 people, I don't think this is like the random, like drive by the kids. We ain't gonna turn this to the old block situation or whatever. But how do we get to a point where we interact with each other and we can settle differences, and the lives of not the person you mad at, but everybody else in the room makes a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Because somewhere in this space, someone is going to make excuses for the shooter. Somewhere it is. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to tell me about what happened in their livelihoods, in their childhood, that made them not only kill 2 people, but shoot 15 other people. And I don't know if I feel any compassion for that. Now, somebody's going to tell me that what are the circumstances that led this person to that? I'll be honest, when 15 bodies on the ground, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about white. At this point, this ain't a white supremacy thing. This ain't nothing but, cuz it was bodies in that place. There were people. You didn't care about the lives of any of them. That easily could have, I don't look at the number of people dead. I look at the number of people shot, because that was the intent.
Right.
The people, if every person that got hit with a bullet could have been dead. And I don't know what factors in society got you to that point, but at this point, I don't care. Am I wrong for that? Like, are we supposed to have compassion for this? Are we supposed to look for the moment in that shooter, in those people's hearts, where they had this turn, and we should be considering that? Or should we be skewering them? Like, should they be begging to go to the police? Because it's like, I just know that there's going to be a point in our lives when we find ourselves making excuses for this, we're going to have more compassion for the shooter than the victims. We're going to find a way to say society made them have no value for each, not just their lives, but my life. Now, this goes to your Meghan Markle question. You want your kid to go to Meghan Markle's party, or you want your kid to go to Megan Stallion's party? Let me just point out this, because I know somebody going. The Harry's party, they dress up in Nazi uniforms sometimes.
That was college.
Okay, in college.
White kids are crazy.
In college.
And have no
so in
respect for
college,
them.
do you want your daughter to go to Prince Harry's college party?
Mm-hmm.
Or Megan, who's 26, who got shot at her college party by her boyfriend?
I wanted to go to the stacks and do some study.
You got two choices, cuz. You can get with this, or you can but
that's just a no-win.
Okay. Let's move it. Let's take it out of college. Let's take it. So I had to give you the Harry component with the Nazi party because he don't get a pass. We got white supremacy on one side, right? Do y'all see where I'm at here?
I don't want to be around drunk white people. That never felt comfortable for me.
Okay, I got you. I'm with you. Drunk black people at the you did. What you doing?
I don't know. Back in my day, people just didn't get shot like that. So it was a different world. But there's no win.
All right, so
I think I'd feel safer at the white party if that's the case. At least you're not going to get shot.
But then you have to be like Megan and be caught up in your room and they make fun of your brown baby.
No, yeah. I mean, there may be some mental scars, but, you know, they're not removing your kidney at the ER.
So tell me. Let me ask a question. What were your thoughts when you heard this? And how do we handle that?
Well, I looked it up, and the location was like a makeshift garage.
Yeah, I mean,
they had a bar in it, so
it was
it was an exclusive party. So
it was a pop-up, right?
Yeah.
So people in the room, you think people in the room knew who did it? Mm-hmm. Should they be telling?
It looks targeted.
Oh yeah, they should be telling if they know who did it. That's the biggest problem. Anybody who goes around shooting people, if you know, you ought to say, that's who did it. I saw it. If you saw it. If you allow lawlessness like that to happen, then you don't really have a neighborhood. You just have you're in a war zone.
So,
if you can do something about it.
All right, so let me ask a question. You at the party. How you know when it's time to go?
Check the hat rack.
What you mean?
If you see a certain looking hat up there, it's like, oh, time to go.
What kind of hat?
Nah, that's back in the day. I guess people don't wear hats like that.
I was gonna say, if you got a hat, you ain't putting it on the rack at this point.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What you would do now, how you knew back in the day was you'll walk in the room and you'll see all the hats broke off a certain way, and if your hat wasn't going in the same direction, you was like, well, right. You had options. Because you get to the door and you be like, ooh, now they done already seen me. So now I ain't got no choice but to walk up in this mud. But how do you know, like, when it's time to go? And do you have rules of engagement when you go to a place? Like, do you have clearly established rules when you go into a venue or a facility? Like, with your crew? So that, like, do you have, like, we're going to meet up afterwards? We're going to, like, how do you know, like, what's your rules?
You're right. There used to be, well, I don't know about white people and Hispanic people had rules. I don't know what the black people's rules were. There probably were some, but I'm talking, way back when I was like a teenager. You knew that there were certain places that things weren't going to happen at. If things were going to happen, then they would happen either because somebody did something where you were, it lived in your neighborhood, and you were getting them for being there and doing something, or they were like, okay, we're gonna meet somewhere, but people didn't normally just walk somewhere and say, okay, let's kill somebody.
Okay. I'm reading from my dear cousin Carla's list of old school rules for the ladies. She said, old school rule. Code, we leave together, we stay together, we come back together. No, you're not leaving with some random dude, and no, I'm not leaving you at the party by yourself. Code number 2, both of us can't be stupid face drunk. Neither of you should, but at least one person needs to be alert and aware of your surroundings. If you go into the bathroom or outside, we all go into the damn bathroom and outside, period. 4, we don't accept drinks from strangers unless we're at the bar and watch the bartender pour.
Mm-hmm.
Code 5, I feel like you too drunk to function. We leaving the party early. We'll fuss about you messing up the night later. 6, if you just so happen to go missing, I will give you a maximum of 10 minutes to show up before I shut the place down, and we all going to be looking for your butt, for real. Everybody else can call the police because I ain't going home without you. 7, if you're fighting, it better be one-on-one. Otherwise, we all fighting. Hopefully, this ain't jumping off because we classy ladies. 8, oh, dang, they got more. Hold on. 8, and the golden rule. The drop-off person check in, or everyone who drove checks in when getting home. If we don't hear from you, we coming to your house. I think we need to start thinking about that. Like, what are the signs? How do you know what the signs are? I thought that was a great list.
Mm-hmm.
That probably all the young ladies should be sharing. We should be sharing with ladies all around the world. But how do you know when it's time to go? Like, when it's cracking at a good party or something, when do you know? Like, beyond the fact that did you ever do this? Like, start running? Because, once you start running, black people just run no matter what. They don't know what's going on. They just break.
Yeah.
Like, you could just break and it'll be gone. But how do you know when something is about to jump off, and what's your rules of engagement?
When I hear men arguing, and they're all, like, slowly all gathering.
Right.
No, it's time to go.
If the room starts dividing.
Yeah, everybody knows Sonia is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be on no paperwork. I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it saved my life a couple times.
I can see that. So when it's time to go, when you start to see the volume go up.
I'm telling you the difference. We were in Miami for something. I think it was NACO.
What's NACO, Todd?
Oh, the National Association.
County Officials.
Thanks.
Just trying to help you.
Yeah. My dad was running for vice president. So my sister and I think her husband, go to a club. And we're sitting towards the back. And I think you had to go through a metal detector. There was something going on there. And then all of a sudden, the fight starts over there. And, I turned because I don't want my back to the fight. And somebody broke it up, and that was it. It wasn't like, I'm going to get my pistol, I'll be back. That was it. But that was like 1992 or something. And we didn't leave right away either.
Are there places that where it's going to be problems? Like, are there, like, because, I used to think, like, certain holes in the walls. Let me ask you. So let me back up. So how do you know when you're not supposed to go to a place? Like, because I would tell you that most of the places that we frequent look like places we shouldn't be. Like, especially on the black side of town. Like, realistically, when you go into a black club, like, or a black tavern or a black lounge, it's a much different experience than walking into a white place. Like, you could at any moment be like...
Depending on where the white place is.
What?
I remember a guy saying just a couple of days ago, where would I be? I don't know. But he said he must have been white because he said he was... Yes, it was a Ignatius thing. He said... He was in Bridgeport, and he went in a Bridgeport tavern, and everybody just looked at him like,
"Oh man, I went to go." Oh, then now that's.
And he was white.
Oh, and he was white.
Yeah, but everybody still was like, "Who are you?"
Because it was a neighborhood meeting. They just have. I never forget. I went to go meet Patrick Thompson one time at me. He's like, hey, just meet me at Tussables. I was like, okay, I'll meet you at Tussables. And I go in and I get there early. And it literally was like the bartender, the cook, and like a couple random people was like, hey, hi, how are you?
Right,
not that you're not welcome here, but are you meeting someone? Not that you're, I mean, I was like, I'm meeting the alderman. He told you to come here?
Look at this new friendly face.
He told you to come here?
Yeah, they're thinking, is he going to be the alderman in the next election?
He don't want to keep his job. Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you.
High pitch. Hi. Hi.
Right. Hey, buddy. You mind if So let me ask y'all a question, man. This shooting, 15 people. Where does the blame lie? And how do we get together without this happening? Right? Because I'm going to have to tell you, it's a lot of pent-up frustration and it's a lot of desire to get outside. Now, is there a distinguishing factor from people that you don't let in? Because oftentimes the people that you know you shouldn't let in are the ones that I bet you, let me back up. The people that we often choose not to let in, there's a reason that we know not to let them in, but we make an excuse as to why, and then when it happens, then we be like society. Right? Society. Now, what you had over there was some people, however they was doing, getting together, minding their business, and somebody's alcohol or somebody's woman. I'm not going to tell you what the issues are because I'm only speculating. But I have no sympathy I don't really care what your problem was that happened to you. I don't care if you was abused. I don't care what your mama did to you. I don't care what white supremacy did to you. If you walked into a room and 15 black people wound up on the ground because you couldn't control what happened to you in your life, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. And I think the problem is we'll make excuses for that because of white.
Other groups won't do that.
There's a time when when we as black folks got to say, okay, dog, you're the problem. Yeah. There's white supremacy and then there's you. You, my friend, are white supremacy could have made you, which means they made you a white supremacist. We don't need it. You just did more damage to black people than physically than. And here's what we'll do. We'll talk about what you gonna tell the family of the people that got shot though? Right? You gonna tell them blame? Who we gonna blame? Society. They live in the same neighborhood. Hey man, we all going through the same thing. Various levels of it, but we all going through the same thing. I don't need you. We're all going through the same thing. I don't need you to be worse to me than the white person that I got to worry about trying to put white supremacy on me every day. I got enough of that already.
Actually, the whole neighborhood's be trying to get you. But, Maze, can't be a snitch. You got celebrities used to say that kind of stuff. I don't think they say that anymore, though.
I mean, okay. I don't think you snitch when somebody stole some jeans from the Louis Vuitton store.
No, I'm talking about shooting.
You kill somebody black, I think you should snitch on yourself. I think that you should want to snitch on yourself because, again, we should make you strange fruit. 15 people, somebody should be some strange fruit around this mug, and it be like you be the next mass shooter. We're not gonna want to say mass shooter, and we're not, and our people are the victims.
How does the community protect itself?
Right. We'll protect the shooter and through all of the other things, and nobody will care about the 15 people that was laid out. White supremacy didn't do it. Right. I'm with you, Jacob. That's not my job, though. Right? That's why we got divisions in this joint. Right? Somebody should be like, dang, how many sisters was in that, brother? So let me get this right. In your anger and in your confusion and in your whatever you felt, there was women there. and innocent bystanders and civilians.
Sajay said on Facebook, Maze, what if they're 14, 15, 16 years old? Do we just throw them away?
If you shot 15 people and 2 are dead, no, we don't have to throw you away, but we could look, Joe.
You gotta go through something.
You don't. We ain't finna. It's like, yo, cuz I got a beating. You got a beating for lying back in the day. Now y'all talk. No.
Yeah. See,
there's a consequence.
Throwing away argument. No, if you kill my child, you got to be thrown somewhere.
Let me say this. I don't even think you have to be thrown away. But there's a consequence to actions, and I think that what we confuse a lot of times is throwing away with consequences. No, like, yo, cuz you took a life. Now, you can still make your life better through whatever consequences that you have, but you still got consequences. So, it's not...
It's a support system.
But your support system might be in the juvenile justice system if you 14 to 15, and it may transfer over to the adult court. Now, let me tell you, that doesn't mean your life is a waste. It doesn't mean you're thrown away. It means that you can help all of those young people that came in after you, and you say, man, don't be like me.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all act like y'all confuse consequences. Like that to me is the problem. We want to make white supremacy does what white supremacy does to us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a consequence to that we all live in. And there is ain't no better really black people than the other black people. We all still in the same neighborhoods for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a point when you become detrimental to all of our well-being that you have to be out the picnic. Now, you might have to go sit in the penalty box for 20 years. And in that 20 years, while you in the penalty box, you're not thrown away. You're in there making your life better.
Mm-hmm.
But you got consequences for choices that you made. And there is a point, whether you know better or not.
Sheila on YouTube says the shooter should be begging to go to the police because we looking for him.
That is my point. There's no fear of consequence. Like, I'm talking about, y'all don't even want to whoop the child. Like, I'm saying, 100 lashes, something. Like, you got to feel some pain. Think about the gravity of, we are literally debating the shooter's well-being over the 15 people that are dead or late shot. Think about the gravity of that. We're debating how well the shooter will be treated as people are trying to save their lives. That's how backwards they got us defending the people that are do y'all understand that? They don't pick, white supremacy don't be like, hey, let's just make it these black people. Everybody's fighting the same battle. Now, how they cope with it is different, but we're all fighting white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no. Now, how we choose to fight it, you might be a front linesman, but redlining affects all the black people. No access to capital affects all of us. Mm-hmm. Now, the most extreme, choose a way of life to deal with it. If you get caught, though, recognize that there is a cost to that. And nobody is going to be like, oh, woe is you.
Beulah on Facebook, I used to tell my students there is no restoration without consequences.
Right. Like, y'all, this is what y'all want to do. Y'all want to be like, let's have some excuse. Yes, I believe that there are a whole bunch of circumstances. But when you cause pain, damage, you break. It's like what you meant to happen and what happens are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you meant to shoot one person and you got them, but you shot 14 others, well, cuz, there's consequences for everything, good and bad. And I think what we want to do is use white supremacy as an excuse for the consequences of people that do us until it's us. Like, seriously.
Jerome Williams on YouTube, community codes of conduct. Stay out of those rat holes. This is first of many, and it's still winter.
Well,
these riffraffs are killing each other. Don't say get out. I'm saying stay out.
But I'm saying like this. I'm saying that I'm not going to be a prisoner in my own home. And I'm going to say that if I decided that I wanted to, you're telling me I got to hide from black people. No, I'm saying that we need to remove the people that make us unsafe in our own space. Like, you can't just be rape, robbing, and pillaging black folks and get a pass. And black people talking about it. Like, we got white folks that's doing, did y'all not see these police videos? Did y'all not see the dog chewing up the dude? Did y'all not watch Anjanette Young? And we talking about what? And we trying to make excuses for, we all under assault.
Mm-hmm.
Same pressures are impacting all of us. Now, if you choose to make the victims of your white supremacy more black people, and we feel a need to protect you over the people you are victim, that's where we got it all. That's where they win. That's where the white, because the Mex, everybody else say you're not doing it in our neighborhood. Go sell it to the Mayetes. You ain't selling it right here.
Man, you must have got that right, because Sonia said, huh?
Because it's just like the Godfather said, give it to the blacks. They're animals.
Right.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
I also don't believe in drugs. For years, I paid my people extra so they wouldn't do that kind of business. Somebody comes to them and says, I have powders. If you put up $3,000, $4,000 investment, we can make $50,000 distributing. So they can't resist. I want to control it as a business, to keep it respectable. I don't want it near schools. I don't want it sold to children. That's an infamia. In my city, we would keep the traffic in the dark, people to college. They're animals anyway, so let them move their soul.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Tune into Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad. Super excited that we've got Lenora Bowler.
Jaquil founded an organization called Project I Am when he was 8 years old, and the organization's goal is to build awareness to homelessness by providing temporary support to those in need, and that's in the form of the blessing bag. And the reason that got going is because when he was around 5 years old, he went to feed the homeless with my aunt, and it was the first time he really had an experience seeing them up close and personal, and he didn't understand, like, why are they out here? Why don't they have a home? So he comes home, of course, and he asked us, how can he buy them all homes? And he, he's 5. He don't understand that concept. He just never let it go. The next few years, he literally would tear up when he would see homeless people. At that point, we were kind of like, okay, we need to try to figure out how to help him, because we were amazed because, like I said, he's an only child. He could be selfish. So when we saw how much he cared about other people, we wanted to figure out how to help him soothe that within him. We had no idea it was going to turn into what it's turned into. We thought this was going to be like a little project and it'll be great for him. It just spiraled out of control. Now here he is 5 years later.
It's only been 5 years?
Yeah.
He's lived a lifetime of just success. Parenting in a Pandemic every Thursday at noon right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten love. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love, I'm too blind to see. And that you got my love, now you wanna put me down. And that you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground. What about it, baby? just might wanna change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't need to come around. Now that you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground. Treat your man when I gave all that I never had. You got me going through changes of life with you. Are you sure you wanna let think it over, babe? 'Cause girl, I believe you just might wanna change your mind. Know that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Yeah. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. You don't come around. Now that you got all my love, and you got me standing on shaky ground. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Really wish you would change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Now that you got my love, you don't come around. Now that you got all my love.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. Tell them. May said, we want to know what's in it for the black people.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. My co-host in the building. That seems like I can't seem to find the road. It won't give it to me.
Advanced.
You said go into advanced. Okay, I'm gonna go into advanced. I hear okay.
Very nice.
Okay. But I don't see it. It says
you
my.
can do it.
No, it's not working.
Yes.
It's not working.
Look,
It's not working.
Listen to me, my friend.
Turn Bluetooth off.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to turn it
Now
off.
back on.
And then I'm going to turn it on.
Click.
And then we're going to make it to work. They're going to make it to work and make the iPad discoverable as the... Yeah, I see the monitor, but I do not see it as discoverable, Sonia Escobar.
My friend.
Hey, my friend, it's not happening. Okay, so I'm going to move on. I don't know if you all saw that Mayor Lori... looks like we're getting something. Seems like we got the roadcast.
You can do it. You did it, my friend.
Did we get it?
Yes, you
We
did
got it. We got it. We have... Yes, let's sing a song. Let's sing a song. The sing song of happiness. Happy dance. We have done our thing. So I wanted to play this. I got 2 videos I want y'all to hear. That I thought was important as I set up this next conversation. So did you all see that Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Susana Mendoza are teaming up to make an announcement that says that they're going to, because they want to help people in poverty and disenfranchised voters, that they want to suspend the fees that the state collects from their income taxes for 1 year. Now, you got to understand that both of them are on the hot rocks right now.
Right.
And so both of them are looking for reasons or opportunities to get in front of black people. You know, one of the things I did not notice, I noticed yesterday, though, we had a mass shooting in Chicago, and we did not hear very much from the mayor. They talked about a tweet. Can you imagine if 15 white people got shot? We'll be holding a memorial service right now.
Oh, city council would be meeting.
Citywide.
Discuss it.
15 white people get shot in one setting, the world is stopping. But the mayor is going to today announce a press conference with Susana Mendoza. I still think we need a candidate. Susana Mendoza, who is running for comptroller, announcing that they are going to suspend Susana Mendoza as the comptroller of the state, is going to pull back from taking money that you owe the state from your state income taxes. So like when you're getting your stimulus and everybody's stimulating and all that, she's going to stop them from taking your taxes from it. But I feel like it's really a publicity stunt because 4 years ago, she was the pride of Mike Madigan. She was the pride of Ed Burke. She was all over the place. She was running for mayor, and then she became scandal torn. But when we see this, I need for you all to just remember this is the same person that is now caring for black folks, right? Or caring for those less fortunate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the end of a long and difficult journey for me on the issue of the death penalty. Many of you may recall that I was one of the last members in this chamber to pass an expansion of the death penalty. In fact, there was no issue that I was more passionate about than that one issue. Throughout my entire life, I've been a staunch supporter of the death penalty and a firm believer in the justice it serves and the punishment it represents for the worst of the worst in our society. I still believe that to be true. I want to leave no doubt that I feel no compassion or see any value whatsoever in the lives of the truly guilty on death row. I could administer the death penalty myself to a cop killer or a serial murderer and sleep like a baby at night if I knew without a doubt of their guilt.
And I'm going to stop right there.
I had a chance to see an execution, but I didn't go.
You had a chance to see an execution, but you didn't go. I appreciate that, Todd.
About four legislators went, though.
Was Susana with him? Was she cheering?
Did she want to do it herself?
She wanted to do it herself.
I think it was before
with her.
her.
Bare hands?
Then what I want you to do is I want you to play the other clip of this. Play me the mayor's spot. Or no. And as a matter of fact, if we got any Anjanette screens, but you could play the mayor's spot.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we have already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this roll, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place! You got the wrong house! You got the wrong house!
We will and we must continue to say her name.
I thought it was important that we remember who's talking to us when they give us trinkets back. Sonia, there's also that audio you had of Tamon Bradley's report regarding Susanna Mendoza. I think it's important that we don't forget. See, here's what everybody tries to do. You remember, on Google, when somebody writes something bad about you, and so you try and pile up stories on top of it so that you can push all the bad stuff back down.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so what you see is all of these press conferences and all of these things so that when you Google these people's names, you don't see Ed Burke. You don't see Mike Madigan. Do we got the Mike Madigan clip too? Right? Like, you got to remember this is the person, these are the people who let our city burn. The people who said, shh. Let me hear Mendoza on Madigan.
It's also my sincere honor to second the nomination of Michael J. Madigan for Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives.
Remember who
I've had the privilege to serve under his unparalleled leadership for 10 years now. Only a quarter of the time that Illinois has benefited from his almost 40 years of stewardship. Over the last decade, I have witnessed his skills as a leader and a man who time and time again has demonstrated his passion and love for this state and has consistently put Illinois first. His work ethic is unmatched. He is steeped in discipline, laser-focused, and impossible to unnerve. He's a brilliant politician, tactician, and public servant, and a great man whose commitment to Illinois is only matched by that to his family. While many may aspire to be like him, there is only one Michael J. Madigan. Someday our children will learn of his contributions to this state and to the Democratic Party. They'll know how he led his government in ridding our state of a corrupt governor. They'll also know of his unwavering commitment to the members of his caucus, both past and future. His is the stuff that legends are made of. We've had the opportunity to serve, grow, and more importantly, learn from him in these daunting times. But now, more than ever, we need him to lead us again. Every news outlet, media pundit, and know-it-all out there had this election cycle pegged as the year that the Democrats would lose control of the House. They blame the speaker for everything from a pothole in the streets of Chicago to the collapse of this state's financial security. And while we did experience some losses, I would submit that the only reason we Democrats maintained our majority is because of Michael J. Madigan. While panic mode was prevalent among many, it was never an option for the speaker. He brought calm, discipline, his immeasurable knowledge of the system, and his steel nerve, directing the elections that afforded us the opportunity to be here, in control of the House and ready to move Illinois forward. And as always is the case, Michael J. Madigan proved the naysayers wrong, delivering for his team and for all of Illinois. Because of Michael J. Madigan's leadership, Illinois is an oasis of blue in a desert of red. Every single state that we border saw their majorities go from Democrat to Republican. Illinois is the lone exception, and we owe that success to Michael J. Madigan. There is only one person who embodies all of the leadership qualities that Illinois needs at this tenuous time in our history, and only one person who has the combined expertise, know-how, and the intestinal fortitude to get the job done. There is no close second, not even close. I, for one, am thankful to the Speaker for his leadership and for what he's done for each and every one of us. He's earned our respect and continued support, and that is why today I am particularly honored to second the nomination of Michael J. Madigan for Speaker of the Illinois House of the 97th General Assembly. Thank you.
I think you all have to remember, like right now, everybody's trying to reform, as Ruthie said, try to be the face of reform, right? It was a few years ago. But the reality is, they are now trying to put a new face on it. This is the same people that told us to move along. This is the same person that when we found out about the south side of Chicago burning down, when we found out about the gang members and Alderman Lopez tried to tell her what was happening, right? Like, I mean, think about, do we have just a small smidgen of Alderman Lopez? I know I'm moving quick. You like, dag nabbit. Just give me a small smidgen of, like,
to be the intermediary in the middle of a riot that's citywide. We need something better because right now we only have 370 whatever National Guards on standby. Half our neighborhoods are already obliterated. It's too late. We have to come up with a better plan because my fear is once they're done looting and rioting and whatever's going to happen tonight, what happens when they start going after residents, going into the neighborhoods? We know that people are here to antagonize and incite, and you've got them all pumped today. They're not going to go to bed at 8 o'clock. They're going to turn their focus in the neighborhoods. I've got gangbangers with AK-47s walking around right now, just waiting to settle some scores. What are we going to do, and what do we tell our residents other than good faith people stand up? It's not going to be enough.
Thank you, Alderman. Next question.
Well, no, I want an answer. You commented on everybody. I want an answer. It's not something you ignore. This is a question that I have.
I think you're 100% full of ish, is what I think.
I just think that it's important that as they stand up and give you pennies back on the tickets, at the same time the mayor just lowered the speed amount. So they're going to do a press conference. Check this out. They're going to do a press conference to tell you get what? Say it again.
Save Susanna as she distanced herself from Burke and police.
So save that one for 1 second because I just want y'all to remember that these are the same people that told us that the South Side was not burning, that there were no street gang members from Latino organizations pulling our people out of cars. These were the same people that said that the South Side of Chicago, that they didn't abandon the South Side of Chicago. This is the same Susanna Mendoza who, as she's giving you pennies back on the tickets. And as a matter of fact, they're not even giving you pennies back. They're just saying, we're not going to take your money after we just lowered the threshold for you to get tickets. I want you to remember that Susanna Mendoza and Lori Lightfoot ran against each other. I want you to remember that Susanna Mendoza told us that she wasn't, as she was getting our vote for comptroller, that she wasn't going to be running for mayor. But this is where you see no permanent friends, no permanent enemies. They both are in the doghouse. And so they both need a reason, and utilizing the pain and suffering of black people as leverage to try and get in our good graces is this thing. But I want you to remember, this is the same Susanna who was involved in this.
Well, if Danny Solis is accused of any wrongdoing, you better believe I will not return every penny, but I will donate every penny to charity, yes.
Today, she did just that. Candidate for Chicago Mayor Susana Mendoza gave away $141,550 in campaign contributions received from Alderman Danny Solis and a firm founded by Solis's sister, Patty. In a statement, Mendoza said her value system dictated that she give away the money. Alderman Solis is reportedly under a federal microscope and agreed to wear a wire secretly recording conversations with Alderman Ed Burke, who is facing a criminal extortion charge. Records show Danny Solis's 25th Ward organization gave Mendoza more than $55,000 last March. Mendoza also collected contributions from Vendor Assistance Program, a firm founded by Patty Solis Doyle and Brian Hines, an attorney. Vendor Assistance Program purchases unpaid state vendor account receivables and then keeps the late fees. There's big money involved. Documents show VAP made $1.6 million
not take your money out of the check
last year. As State Comptroller, Mendoza is responsible for deciding which bills get paid and when. But in accepting Vendor Assistance Program's money, Mendoza says she does not see a conflict of interest.
I've been very transparent as to my relationships. All of my contributions have been legal. I would never do anything contrary to that.
Mendoza is trying to shift the conversation to Tony Preckwinkle and the $116,000 she received from an Ed Burke fundraiser.
She denied receiving a $10,000 contribution only to have to come clean about it after a criminal complaint was actually filed and exposed by the FBI.
But wait, didn't she find she got her honeymoon paid for by a raffle at Burke's office?
Records show the FBI was looking for information showing Burke sought work for his private law firm in exchange for city council votes. They also wanted to know if Burke was trying to gain patronage jobs for personal associates. Also, folders were taken with information related to Brian Hines.
Just so as this is the thing. So
it's just the lucky. She's lucky.
Yes.
You want a honeymoon?
Right.
Oh no, a trip.
No, they want.
And then she got engaged.
And she got engaged, and then they turned it into a honeymoon.
Right.
I think that's important that because we have very short memories. Like so, again, we still don't have a resolution. Remember, Anjanette Young is still suing the city of Chicago and the police department.
And Burke was at that same party, right? Mm-hmm. The wife of Burke, who was like the head.
Not at the Anjanette. Yeah. So let me get Anjanette Young first. Okay. So let's do this one. Hold on. So we got Anjanette Young is still not resolved. The situation is still not resolved with the city.
Right.
We still have Burke and the Susanna Mendoza connection along with the Danny Solis connection as she moves forward, as she took money from all of these companies and then let's not even talk about the General Iron piece where they gave her $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be, I think that as you're watching the press conferences, people, you have to realize what is happening. What they are doing is trying to pile stories on top of your memory. So have we heard a resolution from Anjanette Young? No. Have we heard a resolution on the Danny Solis case? No. Do y'all understand? Okay. They're trying to push all of the other stories down in your memory. So the last thing you will say is that they were standing up for us to stop our tax return because they know Negroes love them some tax returns. So now they're going to have a press conference because I'm telling you, the white people be sitting around like, how can we get the ninjas? What can we say to the black people to protect they? Look, and watch, they're going to have some stimulus program too. Don't watch. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
This is Tori Muhammad, and we want you to tune in to the Tori Muhammad Show that airs here on What's in It for the Black People Media every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We talk and celebrate Black-owned businesses, Black entrepreneurs, and we talk to some of the best people in the food industry here in Chicago, Black chefs, Black restaurateurs. So make sure that you tune in to us every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Peace, everybody out there. What's going on? This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
Listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell him Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Stroger, Sonia, Escobar. It's your man, Maze Jackson. Hey, man, my son answered the phone when Auntie Neil called yesterday. She was like, we should have him do voiceover. I was like, nobody ever asked me to do voiceover. His voice is like, hello. I'll be like, answer the phone again. Take some of that bass out your voice, dude. All right, couple things. Shout out to everybody. You know what? I don't think I've showed any love to any of the people who are rocking with us. Shout out to everybody who is watching us on the What's in It for the Black People page. I don't know if y'all saw yesterday. We had a shout out to Herb Howard and Fam Foolery. We had a little game show access yesterday. Did you see that, Todd? Yesterday at about 3:00, we had Fam Foolery on, which is a game show, trivia game show that Herb Howard hosts. Pretty cool yesterday. Tiger Lily and Brandon Tomlin cheating, stealing all the answers. Shout out to my girl, Dawn Millhouse, Book of Dawn. You dig? She is up next. I'm trying to get to y'all names so I could give y'all some love and show some shouts out. So shout out to everybody that's watching us on the YouTube page. But right now I am getting to the Facebook page, and on the What's in It for the Black People page, I want to send some shouts out. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to say, what's up to my cuz, Lil Dave Bryant. Shout out to Lisa Cooper, Coach B. Thomas, my man Sid J. Sid working on our trip, Junior Lee. I would say what's up to Bueller McLeod, but she only talked to Alpha, so I'm not talking to her. Shout out to...
What's up?
That didn't really count, though. Shout out to Devin Gordine, Alvin E. Norton, Jacob Israel, all the way from Houston. He told us, if you don't like him, go get him. Go do something about it. I heard you, Jake. I see you, man. You be back there snapping on people. Shout out to Brent Collins, Jacqueline, I like when they say Jacqueline Franklin. Remember Jacqueline? Don't be so, Jacqueline, please don't be so hard on Marcus. Jacqueline was Robin Givens in Boomerang. And man, I was just thinking about, I still always say every time I think about that, Jacqueline was the beauty queen, and we was like looking at Halle like, one day maybe you'll be Robin Givens. I bet Robin Givens wish she had that back. And have y'all been noticing Halle Berry been snapping? She been like, y'all, she been going off. Like, y'all been talking a lot of smack for some years. I'm 50 and finer than everybody.
She's right. People have been talking smack, not about how she looks, but about her life.
And about how crazy she was like, Halle Berry crazy with the men. She like, how you know I just didn't want them no more?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Right. Where would she stay?
You know what? Angela Kilpatrick. Shout out to Candace Moore. Shout out to Auntie Neil. Randy Spann is rocking with us. Marvin Bell, always down. Sharon Ugochi Minor. Sharon, I seen you been working out. I seen the muscles on Facebook. Shout out to Robert Smith. Boosie, you was talking about you was quitting us or something. You was sleeping late because Ruthie wasn't here. I see how you be doing. Y'all gotta be faithful, man. Y'all can't be fair weather. Don't be no fair weather friend. I'll be there to the end, even through stormy weather. Time and time again, don't be no fair weather. You know that one, Todd?
No.
That's Johnny Gill.
I wasn't a real
Speaking of Johnny Gill, JGB. Hey, man, can we handle this business, please? Can y'all get on top of that? Don't be letting these white cannabis people making too much money, $40 million. Shout out to Constance Foster, Kenneth Steele. Hey, Kenneth Steele sent me. Shout out to Kenneth. I appreciate that, brother. Shout out to the love on the dub, telling me to keep on going. Diane Scott and them, they rich now. Diane and John Scott, they rich now. Don't tell nobody, though. I said it. Shout out to James Matthews Jr., to my beautiful and lovely wife, Carrie K. Steele. Anthony D. Muhammad from the unofficial Atlanta chapter of What's in It for the Black People. Y'all know Constance is the best greeter ever. Todd, you don't know this? A lover to remain. I need someone who will remain forever yours. But I'll never again. Thick and thin will always be here. Over and through troubled waters, never have to worry again. Y'all know this? Seems
no.
You, I'll always be there. Don't be no fair weather friend. I'll be there till the end, even through stormy weather, time and time again. Don't be no fair weather friend. I'll be there till the end. Todd, where you been, man? We supposed to rock out with that. See, if Carrie was here, we'll be gone. We'll be around here. Well, did I tell y'all before I almost got into a fight with Ronnie DeVoe? Oh, that was Carrie's like favorite group, and we went on the Tom Joyner cruise, and then I think she lost her super love for New Edition because we saw that they kept their clothes on for 2 nights. And that
you mean the same thing?
Yep. And then Ralph, like we was going to board a plane, and Ralph was sitting on the floor in the airport, and we was like, dang. Then we almost got into a fight with Ronnie DeVoe, and then, you know, I ruin everything. I ruin everything. I try. I be trying, man. But you know, it's like you ain't finna play me, cuz. It's not happening. All right.
Boys to Men. That was great.
Jodeci with a whoop Boys to Men both ways.
No, I meant the song.
What? Oh. But these are the things that change Boys to Men.
But other than that, I wasn't a Johnny Gill guy.
Growing up can be up. Yeah. That was that song he snapped. Johnny Gill, he be like, my. You know, Johnny Gill and the 300-minute version of my, because he'd be like, my, and he'd be like, dog, we get it, my. We get it. Like, we really do. And he be trying to show out on New Edition now. For real. He be trying to show. Oh, yes you do. Woo. Shadoo. Shoo, shadoo. See, he be stretched out my. But I'm so proud to be with you. So proud to share your love. Mama, I wanna love you every day, every night. He be mama. Look, how many miles he got? Yep, go ahead, Johnny. Sweet little thing, yes you do. Oh, my. I wonder if you counted the miles in that. How many miles? How many miles you think is in my? Somebody got to count that.
I did like that one though.
I did too until the 3,000th mile. But I do love doing the impression. Okay.
My mother went to a wedding and he sang. And she came
Johnny
back.
Gill?
Uh-huh.
Your mama plugged, dog. See, Todd was plugged.
No, my mama was plugged.
Whose wedding was she at that Johnny Gill sang?
She was at Steve McKeever's wedding.
Dang, Steve, them McKeevers got that bag, though.
Yeah, they do.
Is he related to the old man McKeever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mr. McKeever. You know, that's when you know. You look, first of all, if you're a black man and they let you in the Federal Reserve, much less give you a vote.
Mm-hmm. Well, his son, big time music guy. You know, I don't know which label he worked for, but big thing.
You know what? I do know that the McKeever's in the music business. I didn't know that was related. You know, see, when you plugged, you just plugged. Then you be like, put my son on. Then the next thing, that's how I want to be with my kids. Put my kid on.
Well, he went to St. Ignatius, so it was probably easy. I'm certain there's a plug for St. Rita people. I just don't know where.
Look, Double J, get this dude. Could you come get this dude? Tell Chewy Garcia, what's up, man? My son is a Saint Rita Mustang. Can he get a jet? You know they taking over the Southwest Side anyway. Maybe I just get him. You know he could be the black liaison. All right, y'all. Oh, Hidden Beach. Oh, he was on Hidden Beach. Okay, I certainly remember Hidden Beach. Hidden Beach was the truth.
That's a movie?
No, Hidden Beach was the label, and Hidden Beach actually was where Jazzy Jeff. That's where Jill Scott came from. They was like a whole Hidden Beach was like a whole Philly like little movement. I also want to say like Jill Scott was on Hidden Beach. Jazzy Jeff was over there. It was a bunch of people. All right, y'all.
Stevie Wonder also saying, but my mother was like some young kid, Johnny Gill. I don't know.
Wait, they had Stevie Wonder. That means you know you got that bag because Stevie don't come out for less than like $500,000. But if you made you know they was spending. That's either a clout move.
Well, they know each other.
Wait a minute, Steve McKeever, his husband. Wait, huh? Oh, Susan McKeever is Steve. Okay, I was about to.
Oh yeah, Susan and I we graduated from Ignatius together.
Oh, so y'all had a closed circle. Is this what's going on? You trying to hold out because you don't want to pay the dowry because we Rita and you St. Ignatius? Is that what's going on, dog? Y'all got like this close. It ain't even that many black boys at St. Ignatius for her. Remember that, Todd. I keep telling you I'm going to give you a break on the dowry, dog. I'm going to give you a break on the dowry.
I'm having a hard time keeping Claire, getting her room cleaned. How am I going to get her to marry somebody?
All right, y'all. So I'm going to... Couple things I want to talk about. First of all, did you see this? I got to get this guy on the show. I got to get him on the show. But have you heard about this? So I'm going to talk about two things at once. First, pride in the pews. Did you hear that there is a young gentleman that said that he was gay he was straight every day, every Sunday from 11 to 2. And then beyond that, he lived a gay lifestyle. And he says that...
What's going on from 11 to 2?
Church!
Oh.
And in church, everybody ignored his gayness. And because of the warmth and the love that he felt at the church, he played to be straight the whole time he was in church. And then he was gay the rest of the week.
How are you gay in church anyway?
Oh, you could be gay in church. Oh, no, you could be... Okay, so let's stop. What do you mean, how are you gay in church? You're gay. If you're gay, you're gay. And I'm just going to tell you, back when I was growing up, the organist at Greater Metropolitan was clearly gay. Like, I knew as a 6, 7-year-old, not Mr. Dancy, because Mr. Dancy got down. Mr. Dancy was a player. I remember, you know how you could tell the organ? He was the organist player that everybody wanted to come sit on the thing while he played. That was Mr. Dancy. Then when Mr. Dancy died, then it was this other thing, this other guy, and he had a perm, and he was flamboyant than a mug. And
Little Richard.
Even though I didn't know what gay was, I knew he was not the same as everybody else, other men. But at church, even in a Christian environment, that dude could get down on the organ, and so nobody cared about his. I mean, and he was. I'm telling you, I was like 7, and I was like, that dude's different. And but he could when the choir, and nobody cared about nothing gay because he played the organ, and he could get down.
Right.
And I think that happens oftentimes in churches. Right? I think you see it in churches all the time, where there are people that are clearly gay, they're flamboyant. Like, don't look at the choir, but they're clearly gay, but it's a don't ask, don't tell policy in black churches. Well, this man got a $44,000 grant to tell 66 gay stories of queer. Hold on, let me read it. How did he say it? He's got a $44,000 grant to collect and tell 66 stories of queer black Christians.
Wow, that's not a bad grant.
For 66 stories about being queer in the black church. And there's one for every book in the Bible. 66 is symbolic. Now, I was like 66. That made me, I was like, you missing 1 6. However, there's 66 books in the Bible. And so he's going to get a story. Now,
that's work, though. That is work.
It seems to me, first of all, I want to know where the black pastors are on this. Because he was calling out churches.
Oh, where's the grant come from?
I didn't see that in the story, but clearly we are. Let me ask a question. You feel any kind of way about this? Am I crazy? And
there's a niche for everything.
Does your church will black pastors adopt these stories? And will they integrate them into their doctrine? Will there now be a LGBTQ ministry in the church, in churches?
Remember we talked to the gay pastor who at the church where he was like, it was for gay people.
That's the difference. The difference between a church with gay people, a gay people's church, and a mainstream church that has an LGBTQ ministry. And where is this taught? Where do you implement these stories? So does this become something in Sunday school? No, I'm not, no judgment. I'm not even making a judgment. At this point, I gotta ask you though, where does this fit in our understanding? And this is, in my estimation, the slippery slope that I talked about. Because now what happens if you say, I don't want that in my church? You are now almost in a setup. First of all, what I feel like is they're going to use these stories as cudgels. Do you know what a cudgel is?
Something you hit.
A cudgel is a club that you use to hit people over the head with. And so what I feel like his job is going to be to expose a bunch of y'all favorite preachers and say, he was in. I dare you to say something.
Isn't this more like, it's like an outsider thing that you want it to be on the 100 best-selling list or the 10 best-selling list, not necessarily in churches, but with everybody else. Like Liar's Poker. Remember Liar's Poker? Liar's Poker was a book about, Ronald Reagan, when he took all these restrictions off, the investment banking mergers and acquisitions shot up, bond sales, and these investment bankers made a ton of money. And then somebody wrote about their lifestyle. I mean, they were making money, they were spending money, they played a game called Liar's Poker. I look at it something like that. These are stories about what happens, and people on the outside are supposed to actually read them, not people on the inside.
But does it further erode the role of the church? Right? Like very soon I don't believe there's I don't know if there's going to, and again, morality is subjective.
Mm.
I 44. Who is paying for that? I gotta do some more research because I do want to know who funded that. Did you think black gay people funded that, or was white people funding that to further erode the black church?
Huh.
Maybe like a white institution doing some research.
Right. Well, how do we how do we penetrate the black church? See how I did that?
I do now.
Like I did that. All right, speaking of that, the black church, did y'all see the story about Kirk Franklin?
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin. Can you find that audio for me?
I have the apology.
No, find the call if you can, and then play the apology. Because first of all, is it wrong to curse out your kids?
What?
Is it wrong to curse out your kids? Now, Sonia says if you're a pastor. See, but this goes back to my point of, like, I think maybe in the past, I think Kirk Franklin is apologizing to the church that he grew up with. He's not apologizing to church today. Right? Like, pastors today can do whatever. They can fornicate, they can send naked selfies, they can do whatever they want to do, and the church got your back. You can have sex with little boys, whatever. Look at Eddie Long, right? Eddie Long. His name Eddie Long.
Yeah, I remember him.
Right? So my question.
But that's not unusual. I mean, I bet that's been going on for decades, if not longer. I mean, I know some people who have stated that their priest was not acting in the best behavior towards them in the, I guess it would probably be somewhere in the 70s, late 70s. And they brought it up like within the last, decade. And they were getting letters from parishioners from back then saying, hey, leave that guy alone.
Because he tickled me too. The difference. So I guess we understand what's happening on. I'm not even go there. So my question now, Todd, becomes, is he wrong for cursing his son out? Now, I would tell you that the language that he used, in my estimation, is not congruent with my idea of spirituality that I grew up with. But I'll tell you that black folks are way more I grew up as a Nazarene. So growing up as a Nazarene, the concept of the pastor cursing or having a drink, like the first time a pastor offered me Hennessy, I will never forget it. Because I was just like,
how old were you?
42.
Oh.
Right down the street, famous pastor that we know around here. And he had the best. His bar was off the chain. Mm-hmm. I mean, he had it out in the front yard. Everybody liked pastor. And I was like, wait, you're a pastor and you drink? But what I've come to recognize is that I feel like now pastor is Sunday and Wednesday. It's not a lifestyle. It's a literal job. So there was a time in my life growing up that you did not want to be embarrassed in front of your pastor. Like, you would be like, ooh, pastor, I know, put the smoke out. Or,
Right.
Now it's like, pastor, mugs be like, I used to be like, man, we can't smoke by a church. Now mugs be like, I like, you can't put that right there. Man, please. Kirk Franklin, was he wrong?
Oh, what was the conversation about?
The conversation was about him being a deadbeat dad.
Oh,
right, and about him not treating him the same way I believe it was. I'm sorry. Which? And this was his son from a outside this is not the son.
His son is talking to him about being a dead.
Yeah, his son snapped on him, and it's not the son. It's the son from a previous relationship. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's some bitterness there because perhaps the child? And I think he was suggesting that he didn't do as much for him, and he went on social media and dogged him out. Yeah, but
not that part. But I can get how you could be a little jealous of the other situation.
I can understand that. He went on social media and his dad said, "Hey man, don't come over with that bull." Which he snapped off on him though. So I think there's somebody says it's layered. So I can understand the child being upset, but we don't know what the interaction has been between them, right?
Right.
In between. So like when I heard the FUs from the son to the father, like, okay, here we got the call right now. Sonia, let's go.
Okay, if you think I'm really good, but let me say it like this. When your bitch ass starts getting disrespected, that get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the damn way before I put my foot in your ass. Because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Look, I'm old. I did it. He just hung up the phone.
Can your kids take you there? Have you ever cursed at your kids?
Shoot, he sure went. I mean, he started like he was here, which was upset. I mean, it wasn't like he was normal. Then he went like, "Oh, if I was here, you would be dead right now."
Now let's hear the apology.
Many of you know I have an older son named Kirk Franklin. In May, he'll be 33.
Old.
For many years, we have had a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years through counseling, through therapy, to try to rectify this private family matter. Recently, my son and I had an argument that he chose to record. I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation, and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate. And I am sincerely sorry to all of you. I sincerely apologize. I want you to know as a father that during that conversation, I called the family therapist and got that therapist on the phone to try to help. He never played that part of the recording. I'm not perfect. I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes and I'm trying to get it right. Please keep me and my family in your prayers.
What did I tell you about the heroes of Maze?
What about them?
They all have clay feet.
What does that mean, Todd?
That means that everyone is fallible.
Yes,
human.
I agree with that. I think that there is nobody perfect anymore. I think that in relationships, sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. I don't know how much I agree. I think, first of all, I don't think Kirk Franklin had to apologize. But have your kids ever taken you there?
I don't know. He scared me.
Have your kids ever got you to the point where you snap? Like, I feel like our parents used to snap off.
Yes.
Like, our parents be like, I knock you from here to eternity. I took you in this grave. I take you out. I will.
I'm sure I've used one of those on one of my children at least.
But I do feel as though there is a... I feel like there's a story there. Where do you think that comes from? Do you think he was mad at he's probably mad at the fact that he didn't get the
son.
Yeah. The son is probably mad because
he needs a lot of healing, especially your early 30s. Everything you're trying to suppress and your trauma seems to rise up.
In your 30s?
Mm-hmm.
Is that really what? That sounds about right.
Late 20s, after the drinking and smoking.
It doesn't heal. Okay. So, man, I'm going to tell you.
But that's on the father. That's on Kirk. That's on him.
I don't know. You don't know.
I mean, I don't know how the relationship really was. Or if it could have been much better than that it was.
So, I don't.
The son is old enough. It's the point you got to stop being the victim.
Well, that's my point. Like, my point is this. And you got to take it how it is. Like, I think that there was a time in my life when I probably hoped that there was going to be some Mr. Drummond in my life. And you get dealt the cards that you get dealt with, right? And then, like, in that premise, there's a point when you got to say, like, I feel like at 30 something, you got to say, man, Charlie, it is what it is at this point. Ain't nobody coming back to save me. Ain't no. Now, maybe when he on his deathbed or something along those lines, and maybe not even that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Beulah made a great point on Facebook. Millennials.
We can't listen to Beulah because you got to wait for Todd to read it because she only writes for alphas.
Look, they think recording everything and posting it on social media is the answer. They need better conflict resolution skills. I 100% agree.
Bam. That is a really good thing. I think that youth try to find the answer to everything in the phone. Like, cause you could play it and like it's almost funny like when you got a gun and they pull out their phone like, I'm gonna record you killing me, right? Because that is a very good point. I really hate to admit, Todd, you could tell Beulah that was a good point.
But a lot of these younger folks only have the phone to find information, to find understanding.
That's because they got to stop looking in the phone and listen when their parents talking to them, right? Because you trying to answer my question with the phone. Now, so the whole Kirk Franklin thing, I think it's tight, and but I do think that your kids can push you there. Now, I think this is a difficult situation, but I do believe, like I'm a punk though. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't even be snapping on my kids it really takes a lot for me to say some of the stuff my parents say. Like I be feeling like, dang, I don't want to say that.
But to record your parents,
right? Well, he's an adult, a real adult.
But to record your parents, there's one thing to record your parents that you're with, and then there's one that you trying to catch up, right? Like in my thing, he was trying to find a reason to embarrass Kirk Franklin and do it publicly. So he like, let me lead you, let me bait you into this conversation and get you, let me hit your triggers, right? Because this ain't the first conversation that they've had, right? And so in that process, Kirk has probably tried to he got enough money to try and make it right where it's just, even if it's just, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you a job, whatever. I just think that in that mix.
That's not what he's looking for.
Right. He wants something that's never coming.
Right.
Like, that's never.
And it probably, he wanted it probably 15 years ago.
And he wants it now, though. Except now he wants it with anger.
No. He wanted something. This is my take. He wanted something, an emotional something when he was young that wasn't there, and now that he's old, you can't fill the hole.
Killmonger, baby.
Right.
Killmonger. It's like he mad at the circumstances that created him. Now, you was a warrior, you done went around the world, you done all this stuff, but you still missing that hole that's there. And until it's filled with love, and I'm saying like that what happened there is still anger and pain.
Yes.
And it's like, I can't make you hurt, so I'm going to try and hurt you in ways that I think I can by tarnishing your public. The problem for a person like that is that he gets tossed to the curb because Kirk Franklin is the pastor.
Right.
You could do anything. You could throw away your wife. You could throw away your kids. Your church is not leaving you.
He's got the following.
Right. And so this boy is hoping that this is going to be negative. But again, like, yeah, it's going to be crazy. That was an interesting story. Okay, I'm going to move on. Yesterday, I was watching the Grammys. After I watched the Fighting Illini Ball, ILL.
I.
Bum, 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 I need to ask you, Awa.
Were you part of the Orange Crush?
No. I was part of the Beer Crushed. I used to have, me and KG used to have the plug. KG had a friend that was in the band, and I had a friend that was in the cheerleading squad, and so we had on-field passes. So we would drink like a fifth before we went to the game at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And by the time we got to the game, we was lit. And we'd be running around and acting crazy. And they'd be like, those are the two craziest Wild Illini fans ever. Because no black people went to the games except us.
Yeah, I never made it to a game.
That's crazy. But I'm telling you,
I don't know why.
White black people miss all the fun. White people be, like, I was just thinking about at U of I, all the stuff the white people would be doing. Like, I'd be like, I didn't even know we had that. They'd be like, well, yes, we're at the squash courts today.
Yeah. They outlawed leather skins. Is that what they call those? When I was a freshman. So, back in the old movies,
I like my alligator.
No.
Ostrich.
Daniel Boone would have this kind of thing that you put water. Well.
Oh, yeah, a skin.
A skin, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like you poured it in and then you stuck it in and then it's like.
But it wasn't water.
Well, right, it wasn't water, and because it was a student section, you couldn't bring alcohol in. So you put it in the skin and then there was no pat down. There also was no metal detectors. So you could walk in, do it, and be good.
Yeah, but they outlawed it.
Yeah. Wisconsin used to have the drunkest fans when they used to suck. For real. That's when they was really out of chain. Every Wisconsin game was like, don't go to Wisconsin because they're slash.
They were pretty middling when I was there, let me say. UCLA came and whipped us 38-0, I think that was it.
When I went to U of I, we were a good football team, and then things changed. Shout out to the speaker, Welch, who shouted out Illinois, and I said, because Illinois is Chicago's real Big Ten team. He said only in basketball. Boo! All right, so I was watching TV last night as I was watching the Grammys, and this caught me off guard. Now, I had an epiphany while I was talking about it, but I did think it was important.
Was that a drink?
No, a moment of clarity. So yesterday during the Grammys, I don't know if you all saw the American Express commercial. There was an American Express commercial, and it was filled with black women.
Oh, I saw that. That was good.
It was a really good commercial until I heard it at the end, and it said, when black women businesses do better, America does better. Now, I immediately got a little funny acting.
Is this Women's Month?
That's what caught me, which is it's Women's Month. So I had to dial back my frustration, but then I thought about it, and while it is Women's Month, did we see anything like that for Black History Month? And this is where I want to go with this. Are black women being positioned at the front of the black race? Right? Like, are they being positioned? When I heard that when black women businesses do better, America does better, I do get where they were going. And I do recognize this is Women's History Month. But I do think it is an ongoing thing in which black women now check almost 3 boxes. Race, gender, and then the third box being Me Too. Right? Because now the black woman, Me Too is one of the biggest things that's out here right now. The black woman is now at the forefront. Like when I was thinking about all the positions of power that we have in Illinois right now, it is really, we are led by black women right now.
Yeah.
No diss. I'm not saying that in any. The only men realistically in power, well, now that we have Speaker Chris Welch.
Right.
And I don't know if from his position, Attorney General Raul is a force. I mean, I think he's a consumer marketing force, but I don't think he's a force for blackness. in his power base. Now, he can be depending on the things that he picks up and the issues that he takes on. But I think when you go up and down the chain, at this point, especially in a place like Illinois and going forward, I feel like our fate is going to be in the hands of black women. Power-wise. Now, I think that that's not by, I don't think that's by accident. I think that's by design. I think it's why you find white men and white women so very quickly willing to support a black woman. This is not a diss to black women. I'm just saying, if you go up and down the chain right now, everywhere that is the major power spot, black women occupy it for us. If it's a power position, with the exception of the speaker, it is occupied by black women. I heard that commercial and it said, black women do better, black women business do better, America does better. Not when black people do better. And I understood Women's History Month, but I thought it was a unique opportunity for them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if women are in those spots, do they have a responsibility to us collectively? I would argue that part of the reason that when I saw Madam President Toni Preckwinkle pick the brother for the head of the public defender's office, it was because realistically, there are no black men who are in positions of power that they can actually exercise them, again, with the exception of the speaker.
No, you're right. Black men are on the outs.
And so understanding that, do black women have a responsibility? So let me back a question. Is black women being positioned at the forefront an opportunity for black women to say, now's our time, as in us as black women, or is it now's our time as in us as black people? And do they have a responsibility, recognizing that white people will promote them to the forefront of everything, to look out for black men? Or is it, y'all done held us down for all these years and now we got our chance and y'all just sit back there and wait? Does it have something to do with, again, the reversal of roles in our community? I still maintain that you cannot find a successful society around the world where the man is the weaker component. I will still maintain that if you emasculate all of the men, then it makes it easier for white men to dominate. Think of Brazil. They said, we're going to change the color of this country. So what did they do? When they used their weapons and guns, and then they used their penises to impregnate and change the color of that country. Celine, what's the other country they did that in? Right? And so, I believe that black women are powerful. But I do not think that they have the physical ability to withstand the force of a white man who's ready to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you go to war, and I do believe we are living in a wartime right now, the best thing that they can do is trick us into putting all of the men to sleep. Or making them less viable. When I heard that commercial and they said, when black women businesses do better, America does better, that is not something that I am arguing with. But I thought it was a very dangerous premise, because there's never going to be a commercial that says, when black businesses do better, we all do better. And I felt like it was crazy that we allowed white people to put that demarcation in. And I get the opportunity to be the commercial but where, again, when you're talking about these men, where are they?
That's interesting. I was trying to in my head, I was trying to pick out black men who've had, powerful positions. And there wasn't a whole bunch of them. So it was kind of hard to. I mean, like in my administration, we had a lot of black women in powerful positions
because they're the most educated, the most right. So again, they get the slots. What position? What role do they have to empower black? Like, here's me. I could play number 2. Black men can play number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, you could be the boss. But who's your swordsman? Who are the black swordsmen in Illinois right now? Who are the black men that anybody cares about what they got to say? If you ain't elected. Shoot, if you are elected, who cares what any black men have to say? And this is not a diss to sisters. I am saying, sisters, when you see that corn-fed white boy who will walk up and punch you just like you're a grown man, I love you to death, but you ain't built for that. And when they start treating you like men, because they see you less than, when they let the dogs go, when Anjanette Young when you standing up there naked, they have no fear of reprisal. I gotta ask, how do we get to a point where we play inside outside? Because oftentimes when you have this conversation, it's like the sisters be like, y'all ain't did enough for us. No way. No, I can't agree with that. The narrative will be, ain't no black men taking care of they. No. So right now, what responsibility do black women have as because can we all agree that they are the hottest commodity right now in the world?
I agree.
We can agree that if you put a black woman on the face of it, right? They're about. I was looking at the paper today. Watch and see how many stories you have about white people making money and there's a picture of a black person in it. And then you got to think about what has been our outcome when black women have been in power. Have we moved forward? I was thinking about that. I was thinking about one sitting over here last week and the fact that how women do women, how black women do black women. Is if they going to do black women like they do black women, how they going to do black men? Remember she was talking about her R3 note? How you?
Right.
She like, man, I'm here with you every day. Because if you think there's a level of pettiness that exists between black folks, can you imagine what that level is between women? And then mad women who are mad at black men in power because of something else. Show me where it has benefited. A black man is told when he gets hired, like I'll tell you, I don't get no job without hiring a sister because I need somebody to keep me on. But does that work in reverse? And how does that move us forward? Or should we all be preparing in the black community to be Amazons where we take care of the babies and the women take care of the earners? I'm just asking you because we got to come up with a plan. Look, y'all,
I think you're right, though. Because when I look at the scope, I think that black women will find a black man, but their circle is black women.
Exactly. And
they need to have a man here.
Just think about why we're here right now. The circle of black women were more important to protect themselves than the masses of black women and men who were being assaulted by Latino gang members, highlighted by black women who sicked them on us. Because how much value do they have? Them Negroes over there. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. For Maze and Sonia, no Ruthie and Todd, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, now I want y'all to stay tuned for the Book of Dawn. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.